This guy, Joel Klatt, I feel like he has a good reputation around media circles. Whenever his opinion is stated, people put a lot of stock into it. I think he knows ball. I still remember after Nebraska went to Oklahoma, and Joel Klatt had like a freaking monologue after the game where he was speaking into the camera, just him talking about Scott F.
Thank you. You were ready on that one.
And just saying, Nebraska fans have hope. He is leading you down the right path. That's where my mind goes whenever Joel Klatt says anything about anything, whether it's Nebraska or anyway. He did his little preseason rankings, and he had Nebraska at number 22.
I personally like Joel Klatt. Joel is a guy who, although he is a Buffalo, he advocates for the University of Nebraska quite a bit. I think he also knows how to play both sides of that, though. He advocates for the University of Nebraska, but he also is in the business of getting clicks and getting likes, all that fun stuff. I think there's a little bit of, I like University of Nebraska. I like what Matt Rule's doing.
And I get good clicks. I'm going to make these idiots talk about me for a little bit.
Yes. I'm also in the business of making content and making money. And if I put Nebraska on anything, especially things that don't make sense, it is going to get a lot of traffic and make it to the No Block No Rock podcast.
Yeah. So then my question for you then, Mike, this Klatt ranking, is it genuine?
No.
Or is it strictly clickbait?
If you gave Joel Klatt truth serum, you would say that Nebraska is not a top 25 team because they haven't made a bowl game in 7 years.
He basically said the exact same thing that we've been saying this whole offseason. If you had a half percentage better quarterback play, I forget the number that he put down for the amount of turnovers that were the result of the actual quarterback.
They lost 4 games by exactly 3 points. And in those games, they had 15 turnovers. 13 of those 15 were by the quarterbacks.
You just cut that number in half. You're looking at a team that is probably like 8 wins or 9 wins last year. With that being said, we're still waiting to see it happen. Every single year, it is the narrative that, oh, if they just cut down on the fumbles. Oh, if they just get a real quarterback. Oh, if they just make some field goals.
Put the camera on me.
Demand it.
If my aunt had balls,
Yeah.
you know how the rest of the saying goes.
I don't know that I do.
I've never heard this
She'd
said.
be my uncle.
If my aunt had balls, she would be my uncle.
You've never heard that phrase before?
Dude, it's 2024, you piece of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a phrase.
You green-haired.
The quarterbacks just have to play better. And
Well, no shit.
yeah,
Yeah.
they have to not fumble.
They do those things. They do them.
I really, now I will say this. I am on record saying that Dylan Raiola will cut down on those turnovers.
Sure.
He will. 100%. We will not be almost leading the country in turnovers.
Do you know how many years it's been since we've had a positive turnover margin? It's been 8 years.
And they won
9 games.
9 games.
Yeah. It has to get better, right? The quarterback play completed 50% of their passes and turned the ball over 30 times, almost 30 times.
yeah,
Come on now.
worse
It can't get worse with a
So-
5-star quarterback coming in. Come on now.
He was smart enough to, what did he put us at? 22?
22.
Didn't put us high enough.
Right.
Then it's like, oh, he's clearly just farming for clicks.
It's just low enough.
There is a lot of hype around this team. Could Nebraska finish this season a ranked team? There's a possibility. We should be thankful if we end a season at 22. I don't give a shit where we start.
If you finish the season in the top 25, that means that you probably won 8 games.
So he touched on the fact that the quarterback play was subpar. He also talked about the defense. Top 15, you would think, defense. And you have a nice quarterback on your team. I could see you being ranked 22 at the end of the year.
I do have faith in Matt Rule that the narrative could equal the result at some point.
Can we get to 6? Come on.
We can.
Why are we throwing these astronomical numbers out like 8, 9, 10? Let's get to
Astronomical.
6. We haven't done that in 7 years.
Yeah.